Blanky time. It's almost time for Blanky time. Come along and take our hands. We're going to Blanky Land.
Welcome back to Blanky Time.
Blanky time.
The sun is so bright, shining through the windows, it is acting as our comfort and blankie.
Oh yeah,
it's
nice and cozy.
So we're doing that today, and this is a bit abnormal for us because we're actually filming, or not filming. Maybe it's not going to be abnormal, cognitively wise.
Yeah.
But yeah. So normally, to preface that, we normally. How many times am I going to say we normally?
Normally, you would say it a few more times.
We record at like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're still very much EP. We're very EP, and things are a bit slow.
Slow, but also our brains are fresh because
True.
they're untainted by reality. But right now, it is the middle of the day.
It's high noon, son.
And literally the sun is thick and juicy right now.
Yeah, because it starts out cold. Like the other day, I had a jacket and a beanie on.
This morning, I had a hoodie on.
And then as the day progressed, you end up.
It's like 80 degrees outside in mid-November. Yeah, I'm excited for today. It's nice to be with you.
It's nice to be with you. What?
I missed this time.
Blanky time?
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
we're starting to get still back into the
swing of things. You're newly moved and in your new space.
Yeah.
I am busier than ever. But it's always nice to get together and talk about things that the world needs most.
Which is some Blanky time.
Blanky time. Yeah, man. So, what's new with you?
What's new with me? Woo! So, yeah, I'm organizing my shop. If you follow me on social media, more my wife, but we say we because, she's graceful.
Right.
Not gracious.
Maybe she's graceful too.
And graceful. And allows it to be said that we bought a house. And it was built in 1916.
Yes.
And it's also kind of cool because it was a parish house and 17 different ministers lived their tenure to the local church here where the house is at.
Yeah. It's got very good vibes.
So, yeah, good vibes. Did I talk about the doogie pipe last time?
I don't think so, no. You talked about doing your plumbing stuff, but...
Yeah, so the original plumbing was cast iron. And what that means is it was corroded and gunked up and just plain nasty. And there had been in the past at some point people had gone in and updated certain connections to PVC, but they didn't want to hassle with replacing the entire thing.
Right.
Which is understandable.
Of course.
And so what I did was I replaced the entire thing.
Yeah, by yourself.
Yeah, I cut out all the cast iron pipe, which is freaking heavy, and redid it with PVC and all that. The other thing that makes the cast iron pipe heavy is not only is it cast iron, but the way they sealed the joints of those pipes was with lead.
Yeah.
So it's extra heavy.
So you've been worn out.
Yeah.
Last week recovering.
I've finally recovered from it. Like my back was like freaking sore, and I was crawling around in a very tight crawl space for like 3 days, just about.
It's a small space. I don't think I could get under the house.
Yeah, you could.
Maybe.
Well, that's why I made that that joke video about like cavers. Did you see that?
No, I hadn't seen it. No, so I'm terrible on social media.
It's on my Instagram, and so like on TikTok, or like even there's YouTube videos of it. There'll be like these guys that go spelunking, caving, right?
Right.
And they make these videos. They're like basically wedged into a rock. And they have like the flash on, and they have like 0.5 on, so that way you can see their surroundings. But they're just wedged into these holes that nobody should ever really crawl into.
No.
And
Very claustrophobic.
yeah, these guys just eat it up, and that content will come by on TikTok every now and then. And so I made a video of me in the crawl space doing that, pretending to be spelunking, because it was pretty tight. Like the tightest spot of the crawl space was like I couldn't get up on my knees. Like I had to lay flat. I maybe had like less than a foot of space above me.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I could maybe like raise my head up a little bit and crawl around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do as well as I used to in tight spaces. Maybe just my size now, or
I was
my
born
mindset.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean now? Did you
Just
used to
like-
like tight spaces back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I would always found like the smallest little nook to like put my sleeping bag in, or like when we had sleepovers or like a bunch of people at the house, birthday parties or whatever. I'd
You'd
always find
sleep
like
under
this
the couch.
cozy. Yeah, right.
Or the bed. You'd
Like
sleep under
in the
bed.
corner of the bed, yeah, between the bed and the wall or something, like, you know, right? You know, is that weird? But yeah, the older I get, I do not like the tight, no way out. Not like full claustrophobic, but I appreciate a good open space or some
Yeah.
windows.
No, I was all right. If I didn't have a light, like if my headlamp would have gone off, I don't know what I would have probably freaked out a little bit, because
Yeah.
I was so far back in there was, even
No
though the
light.
crawl space door was open, that I had no light.
You'd have just had to find your way out, feel your way through the dark. No parents.
All by
darkness.
myself.
Yeah, dude. Totally.
Yep, that was me.
Yeah.
But now
I was born in the dark.
we're getting some
Really?
estimates for some metal roofing, which will be nice. Because metal roofing is supposed to last way longer. It's more energy efficient
Yeah.
than shingles are. And it
Does
just
it
looks
not-
and sounds better.
Do you have to have like
It's lighter weight too.
different insulation for that to keep it from getting like so hot and so cold, like during the seasons?
Actually. No, it's better than shingles.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they basically, there's something that's about the metal roof that it actually reflects more heat, which it makes sense, right? Like you
Yeah.
would think like metal, it gets hot. Well, yeah, it's gonna get hot, but
But it's not like a warehouse.
a shingle is basically just like a slab of tar and sandpaper and fiberglass,
Right.
right? And so that holds heat a lot more
Makes sense.
than the metal roof does. Plus, shingles are way heavier than metal roofing is.
Yeah.
At some point, because the house originally did have like a metal roof of some kind,
Right.
they added shingles, and so in order to do that, you have to like put more plywood on top of the roof, and then put the shingles on. So the roof already has too much weight on it than what was intended. So there's been some like redneck supports put inside like the attic to help it out.
Right.
But I'm gonna come in and put some like actual A-frame joists, and then plus once we get the metal on there, it's gonna help. You know.
Yeah, it's
give
nice.
the
I mean, I
roof
can't
some
wait to see
respite.
what you guys do with it, because, I mean, you're very handy. You're a handy little boy, and
Fix it,
it's-
Felix.
Yeah, fix it, Felix. Yeah, exactly. That's you, if there ever was one. So I'm excited to see what it looks like. I mean, it's 100 and some change. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
Whatever.
It's,
1916.
106, 107.
Yeah. So yeah, something like that.
But like, and the original floors too. I mean, original hardwoods, right?
Yeah.
That's insane. It's beautiful, man. You got like 6 fireplaces or something.
Yeah, we got 4, and we're probably gonna reopen them up in some way. The chimneys. So when they did the shingle roof, whoever, I want to strangle that geezer for freaking putting shingles on that roof. But that's what all the boomers,
Yeah, that's
or
what
not
you
the
did.
boomers, that's whatever geezer generation that was that went from metal to
After
shingles.
now, was this after it was a parish? Probably.
I don't know, but when they did it, they destroyed the chimneys. So that's why there's no chimneys sticking out of it. Like we have some of the original photos.
Yeah.
Um,
So they're just closed up, right?
yeah, but they would basically need restored, like, which is a lot of work. So what we're gonna do is just run ducting, which is the stovepipe up the center of the chimneys,
right.
and then have them coming out of the roof again, and then put in wood stoves, which I think will be sweet. Because wood stoves are actually, if you set them up right, they can be more efficient than like an open face fire. But we'll have one in the main living room / dining room area. There'll be a matching wood stoves on both sides, which would be kind of a vibe. And then I think the master bedroom's gonna have a wood stove in it, and the library's gonna have a wood stove in it. So it'll be pretty cozy.
Yeah, man.
Pretty cozy.
Have you named the house yet? Because I feel like your house is one of those houses that it deserves its own name. You know?
I've never thought of that. Like how people name their cars.
Like, well, yeah, but you go like, yeah, like most people don't name their house, but there's those specific like older houses. It's like it's the whatever home, or the.
I mean, we'll probably just call it the parish house. Seems fitting,
I like it. The haunting of the parish house would make a great.
There
thriller.
is like the perfect Coraline door leading into the attic.
Yeah, it's 107 years. I'm sure it's got some ghosts. They seen some things up in there, or not. Let's not wish that on you.
I look this. To be fair, I haven't gotten any of those type of feelings in this house, and I've had those type of feelings in other houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It could just be placebo, but.
I'm sure it's fine.
Give me that placebo.
Yeah.
I love this house.
I'm sure you love it. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's got good vibes. It's
my
the
niece
house of the Holy Spirit.
My niece got lost in it. Yeah.
Wow. And it's a big
yes.
house. I almost got lost, and Sarah was walking me through it.
There's a lot of rooms and a lot of doors,
but everything is somehow connected to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like
so,
it's like a mirror house.
So my niece had to use the restroom, right? And so I was like, "What do you want to use the big?" Oh, okay. We can talk about this in a second. But I said, "Do you want to use the big toilet or the little toilet?" And there's a reason why I said that. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "The little toilet." And I was like, "Okay."
Of course.
She's like, I don't know. How old's your daughter?
She's 5, right? Well, Farron's 5. I think.
Yeah. 5-ish.
5-ish. Almost 5.
Something around there.
Yeah.
And so I show her to the bathroom, and she closes herself in, and I was like, and then I went back outside because my mom was gonna take her with her back home because they were helping me drop me off because I was carpooling for vehicle reasons. I'll say that.
Yes.
And so we were like, what is taking her forever? And I go in there, and she's at the front door, like, yanking on it, trying to open the front door. And I was like, what are you doing? She was like, I'm trying to get out. And I said, did you get lost? And she was like, maybe. I was like, I thought you were going to be able to come the way you came. She was like, I don't know. So she was just like wandering around in the house.
That's crazy.
Which is like completely empty. Like for the majority of the house, we don't really have anything moved into it because we're painting and refinishing. So just the mental image of her lost in the house was sad and funny at the same time.
Oh man, I don't know if I told you at your party last weekend or last week. The girls were playing with Nora, and I heard her say like, how do you know me or something like that, and Nora was like, I've known you for a long time, our friendship will never break. And I was deep, like, dude, that's what's up. And then Farron said, it'll break when we die. And Nora,
That's a good one.
And Nora said, "Let's not talk about that." and then they just kept like climbing in the dirt, or they were climbing on this dirt mound. It's like,
I
dude,
could totally see Farron saying, "Well, it'll break when we die."
literally, yeah, literally. And Nora's like, "Yeah, let's not talk about that." It was like, oh, and then they just went off, kept climbing their dirt mountain. It was hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, to what I alluded to with the toilet, because that reminds me.
Yes.
This has been something talked about on the internet for a little bit, but I don't think everybody is aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that not all toilets and toilet shapes are created equal.
Right. Okay.
So, like, we have 2 different toilets in our house for some reason. But the little toilet is one of those ones that sits up slightly higher and has a very round seat and bowl, which is the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, very uncomfortable.
The other toilet, which we lovingly now call the poop toilet because it's the most comfortable to poop on, or poop into.
Poop on.
Gray poop on.
Gray poop on?
Is one of the ones that's got, like, the almond-shaped bowl.
Right, yeah.
Right.
It's a little oblong.
And, like, I guess people, specifically women, didn't realize that specifically men had a preference of toilet,
Mm-hmm.
So
you think women designed the house?
I don't
Is
know
that what you're getting to?
No, I didn't know, like, have you ever thought about that? Like, do you have a preference of a type of toilet?
I mean, thankfully, every house that I've lived in has had an almond-shaped, oblong, comfy toilet.
What about what about the
But
do you like the seat that is connected all the way around, or has it got the spacer? So it looks like a tine.
Right,
two
right,
tines.
right. Yeah, all the way around, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I feel like I've always been stuck with the all the way around toilets.
Yeah.
But I tell you what I do hate are the freaking seats that, like, when you sit on them, all the air goes out of them. They're like filled with
cushy ones.
Yeah, they're terrible, dude. In my grandma, like her house.
That's a geezer seat.
Yeah, dude.
The
Every time you
geezer
sit on it,
seat's
it's
got
like
the cushion. Yeah.
And the air just comes out. It's
it's more clammy. Like, it makes your butt more
it's
clammy.
terrible. You sweat so much on it. and she had one of those round toilets, so it was like, yeah.
The round toilet with the squishy seat.
With the squishy seat, it was terrible. I would never take a dump over there. It was.
I forgot about those squishy seats.
It's the
Have
worst,
you ever gotten
man.
a wooden seat? Have you ever sat on a wooden seat?
Yes.
Those
Yes,
are
I
alright.
have. Yeah, it was terrible. Wow.
But yeah, not all toilets are created equal.
No, it's. Yeah.
You know a toilet I've always wanted to use? Well, there's 2.
What is that?
Take a guess.
Yes. Yeah, I really don't know.
What?
Like
Come on,
a specific toilet?
Yeah.
Like a specific place somewhere?
I mean, there's a specific place that has these kind, but the other one is not exclusive to this place.
I really don't know where you're going. I don't know.
So, my second, right? Because there's only the 2.
Right.
The second are one of the toilets that has the tank like above your head, so you can pull the chain.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like.
Dude, I haven't seen those in a long time.
I'll be hitting a lever sitting down, and it's kind of awkward. But
Yeah.
if you just have like a little choo-choo train chain,
Yeah, you
just
pull the
toot,
chain.
toot, and that'd be sweet.
Are you you're a fan of bidets?
Oh yeah,
We've talked about this.
yeah.
Yeah, bidets are the way of the future.
So that's the number one is one of those like luxury Japanese toilets. It's got like warming, noise making, bidet.
My uncle has one.
Like a Smack Daddy one.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
It's
immaculate.
Does he let people come over?
I do. I
take
go over
dumps
there
at a
just to
time?
take a dump, and he lives like 4 hours away now, up in the mountains. But literally, I'll go by just to drop one, and it's glorious. It really is. It's like the full luxury treatment, heated, so in the winter you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it's just. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice and cozy.
The
I think it even has music.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can the
Same.
higher end ones play music so that way
Yeah.
people don't have to hear you.
It's like wind chimes or, meditation music
White
or something.
noise.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's the Mac Daddy of
Yeah.
toilets for sure.
The only bidets that don't make sense to me are the European ones,
Huh.
like the one that's separate.
Oh, right.
Because I've used those before. Because for whatever reason, there's a house we were renting or staying in or whatever for a vacation in the mountains, and they had those. They had the separate bidet.
Right.
And the thing is, in the modern, presently today, to my knowledge, in the UK, they still put in those kind.
Right.
Rather than doing an integrated one, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, you think they would just I mean, I think
Because the integrated ones that you can buy for your toilets, like we have, where sits in there and you connect it to the water and jump, like that's easy. You
Yeah.
know? Why?
they should all be integrated.
Maybe it's because porcelain people need more money, and so they are like, they have some contract with the government to they're required to have this type of bidet,
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe our bidets are loaded with Red 40 and all of the chemicals that the UK has outlawed. Nah. Can't be that simple. No. Yeah.
Tell you
I
what,
don't know,
though, my the one I haven't hooked up our new ones yet, or I took the ones from the old house. I haven't installed them in the new house yet, but at the old house, the pressure was very powerful. Like I would do just like a little crack of the valve, and it was like blasting.
Yeah.
And then my parents also have them, and I was like full blasting that sucker, like it was like barely anything. And I was like, Dad, like what the heck is up with y'all's bidets? They're so weak. He's like, what are you talking about? This is like a laser beam. And I was like, listen, dude, you need to try out my bidet, because this sucker will hose you down. It's like what you have is like a water fountain.
Yeah.
And I have like a pressure washer.
Nice.
Like that junk is powerful.
Bro. Did he come over just to try it out?
Nah.
No.
Well, we're closer now, so
Yeah.
he doesn't have an
True.
excuse anymore.
I know. It's like right here. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. Going
know.
from like 35 to 20 minutes is like such a huge difference.
Really is. My in-laws live like 45 minutes away now.
Yeah.
And
that's tough. It's like y'all are long
never,
distance.
yeah,
now.
I never see them. My parents live like 3 minutes away from us. I still never see them though. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a stage of life thing. It's
There was this trend going around on TikTok, because it started with this girl who was making fun of Americans, and was like, Americans asked me like, it started with her saying like, oh, I'm from whatever this town is, Brexington or whatever the frick.
right.
And then she was like, Americans would be like, oh, is that close to London? And she like laughs like, you're so stupid. It's not close to London. You Google map that sucker. This town that she said is not close to London
Right.
is only 2 hours away.
Relatively, that's pretty close.
Yeah. That's
It's pretty close.
so close. And then there's like
Man.
other people stitching that and being like, to an American, this guy, like, he vacationed in America for like 3 months. He was like, to an American, that's just like a normal commute to work sometimes.
Honestly, bro, it's like Greensboro.
Yeah.
You know?
And then like there was this other one I saw where these people were like, they were from Canada, and they had some UK friends, and they were talking like, oh yeah, like, it was a lady talking. She was like, me and my husband, we had a long distance relationship, blah blah blah, and her UK friends were like, oh, so did we. And they're like, oh, how long distance were you? They were like, we were like a 30-40 minute drive from each other.
Yeah.
And the Canadian
So
lady was
far
like,
away.
try 5 hours.
Yeah, right.
Like-
No, yeah, definitely. It's like,
Because they lived in like different providences or whatever the frick they call them
yeah,
in Canada.
in Canada. Yeah. Dude, I have never been to Canada, but I feel like it would be a fun trip. You were pretty close.
Yeah, I was.
Up in
I mean, I was about
Maine.
maybe an hour or less away. Just had to drive west, and we would have been in Gooseland. But
Yeah, I mean, Alaska, you're relatively close, but
if you drive to Alaska, you have to go through Canada.
my brother did that.
Yeah.
There and back.
But there's
Seems
like
like a fun trip.
there's like nothing. The nice thing is though, it's kind of that whole coastline,
Right.
which would be kind of sweet.
Lots of moose.
You'd think my new car could make it all the way to Alaska?
No.
You don't think
Maybe. I mean, it's got a better chance than the truck.
so?
I definitely think that.
Do you think your car could make it to Alaska?
No way.
Really?
I don't know, man.
Your faith in cars
It's kind of
is
sketchy.
What do you mean
Mine
it's kind
is.
of sketchy?
I bet the Honda could. My Honda. But
but not my Honda.
Maybe your Honda. I have faith in the Honda.
Listen, we got the Sarah's Subaru to New Mexico, and it needed lower control arms and all sorts of crap.
And I'm
to
sure,
get that
then
point.
I'm sure my Subi would make it. It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, I've been up in, I took it to Jersey and back in a day, and it drove like a champ. That's not a terrible drive, 10 hours both ways.
I think the big test for so I got a new car. I talked about it a while ago. It was the '89 F-150, and it died.
It's dead.
And so
RIP.
I got a new car that should be a lot more reliable, and that is a Honda Element
Oh, yeah.
2004, which is basically brand new to me. That's might
Yeah.
as well be a 2020 to me.
Right.
Um,
It's beautiful.
and they Toasty Gang.
Yeah.
People call them little toasters. So I'm part of Toaster Gang now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. I've had a bad. I didn't really think about it in perspective till the other day when Sarah was joking about it. But I really haven't had a vehicle longer than like a year and a half tops.
Yeah.
Which is apparently not normal.
It's, yeah. I mean, I went through seasons like that for sure.
Yeah.
We've had the Honda almost 3 years now, and the Subaru over 2 now. So I mean,
Yeah. So if I make it to 3 years with
That's
this,
great,
that's great with my record.
yeah,
But there's a place up in Indiana that does like these blacksmith classes and meets and stuff that I want to try to go out to one of their hammer ends,
that's
and that's
cool.
like a solid 9 to 10 hours.
yes.
And so I feel like that'll be my test.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be getting rid of this one soon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm upgrading to a minivan.
Oh, you've settled on a minivan?
Well, either a van or a Pilot, but actually we're looking at a Pilot this morning.
Oh yeah. Pilots
so-
are nice.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Honda Gang.
I honestly, bro,
Everybody get on the
my
Honda
faith
train.
is
Honda
being there.
Gang.
Yeah, but I really want a Subaru Baja, like
Yeah.
as
Dude,
my fun
I saw
car.
one for sale. You know that like dinky? Well, it's not dinky. It's just it's a small dealership across the railroad tracks from where there's the big Coca-Cola plant.
In Clayton.
I think so. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
There's like a little dealership thing
Mhm.
called like
right on the corner there.
Clutch something
Mhm.
with like a little red and white sign.
Mm-hmm.
They had a burgundy with champagne accent, like the rims
Ooh.
and stuff,
All
or
right.
the fender stuff. Baja.
Did they have a price on it?
I don't remember seeing it, but it had a sale sign on it.
I would love one, man. I've seen some like bright yellow ones cruising around.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I just yeah. One day, either that or the Westphalia. It's gonna come through
West, huh?
the V Dub, like the old
Like a Volkswagen Rabbit?
no, like the Volkswagen, like the Westphalia is like the vans, like the hippie vans.
Oh, is that like the actual name of the van?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one I want. Yeah.
Westphalia.
Yeah.
Look
Look
that
it up. Well, I don't. My phone's charging right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm terrible.
Westphalia. Yeah, I mean, the that's that's one thing thinking about that with cars is there's so many cool vehicles
Mm-hmm.
that we don't get here because of dumb reasons. And like a lot of those are like cool like Volkswagens, Toyotas, like the Toyota Hilux.
Yeah.
It's one of the best trucks ever made. The Hilux
Honestly.
Surf is basically the SUV version of the
Yeah.
Hilux. One of the best SUVs ever made.
All over Zambia, they're driving.
All
them,
over
cruising.
the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
except
I mean,
America.
it's emissions. Stuff. Like that's how Guatemala has the Volkswagen Amarok, and
Yeah.
it's like a dope looking truck, like Colorado size, like
Yeah.
or
What was
like
the
a
thing I was looking up again?
Westphalia. But yeah, so like the Toyota or the Volkswagen Amarok it's a full diesel, but it's like a single cab truck.
Yeah.
Dude, it's beautiful, man. Like they're immaculate, but I mean,
Well,
they're
that's why
not
the,
allowed here.
Yeah, that like if you want to get something like that,
You just have to drive
brand new,
through
you have
and-
to get it from Mexico.
Yeah.
Like the Suzuki came out with like brand new Jimneys, like a 2023 or 2022 Jimny, but they did like a limited run,
Right.
and it sold out in like 15 minutes. It was like
That's
I think like
crazy.
either 25,000 or yeah, it was like 25,000 units. And but you could only get them in Mexico. So there was
Yeah.
like people in America that ordered them from Mexico and like went all the way down there just to get them.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, I guess. So.
But yeah, car stuff is just annoying. I mean, the true testament of like what people really need these days for like a vehicle and stuff shines through with the K truck trend,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's like in America we don't have really anything like the K truck.
No.
And when people started realizing you could get them like relatively inexpensive, it's just annoying doing all the like shipping stuff because you have to buy them from Japan. But it's like there's nothing like that on the American market that suits that need, because most trucks and stuff on the market today are what people call like pavement princesses.
Yeah.
Where the bed length is basically getting smaller and smaller, and the cab's getting bigger and bigger, and it's not really an actual truck anymore.
Yeah, you can't haul anything with it. That's yeah, honestly, man. I mean, and everything's moving electric now too, so you've got that to think about. What was it like by 2025? Like GM's gonna be all electric. Ford's moving that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just gotta. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate on electric stuff, but last I heard, like battery life isn't getting any better on
Yeah.
that. Like they're satisfied with where it's at. So
You know what I'm waiting for? There's already a company doing it. I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod.
solar cars.
No, Elon actually talked about that recently again.
Yeah.
You need like basically the only thing he's considered making with solar panels has been like a Tesla Sprinter van,
Right.
because it's about square footage of solar panels for it to become efficient.
Yeah.
But there's a company in Canada called Edison Motors,
Ooh.
and their motto is stealing Tesla's ideas.
Dude.
'Cause that's what Edison did.
Yeah. Right.
Because
Yeah, he ripped off
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
a lot, and he was a terrible person. Besides
Horrible
that,
human being.
yeah, him and Henry Ford,
Yeah.
both pretty evil men that created what America is today at this point. But they did do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, Edison Motors in Canada was founded by this guy who worked in the logging truck industry, right?
Mhm.
And so he's making a logging truck that is a diesel electric hybrid, where it basically has a Caterpillar diesel generator that charges battery packs, and then it's electrically driven with electric motors.
Wow.
So they had been doing this forever ago with trains.
Yeah.
The reason they did it with trains is because it's the most efficient combustion system that you can currently make right now.
Right.
Because basically a diesel engine, when it is allowed to operate at what is it called? It's not peak RPM. It's not like the fastest, but the point in RPM which it's the most efficient when it comes to like torque and fuel usage. Emissions are like almost nothing, right? Because it's being so efficiently used. Plus, diesel has better torque and life, like in a combustion system.
Right.
So basically, you allow the generator to operate at peak performance, and then that charges your batteries, and then your batteries power your electric motors, because electric motors have way better torque, and also it allows you to get rid of like a transmission system,
Right.
which can like
exactly.
get in the way and mess up and burn up and stuff. So yeah, they're making logging trucks,
Dude, that's insane.
and they have their first prototype, which is called Topsy, which is really cool because the cab, they made it kind of like a skidder cab, so it has super like good field of view and all that. But I want somebody to do the same system, but in a vehicle.
Yeah.
Where you have just like a little diesel generator that powers, your battery system. Because that's basically what like a plug-in hybrid is, kind of.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But those are
dude, that's insane. I mean, I had heard that Tesla was working on some trucks, like, big rig cabs. But it was all concepts and,
I think they have like a driving one now that they just finished, like a tractor trailer rig.
Yeah, So, I mean, but, which are, again, stopping every few hours to plug in, it's just...
All right, so this gets to our actual topic for today. Segway, baby.
Yeah.
Perfectly rated, underrated, or overrated. We're doing a bunch of different stuff, and I guess the first one we'll do is electric vehicles. Are they overrated, perfectly rated, or underrated?
This is tough.
This is our opinions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna preface that if your opinion lines up with ours,
we're experts on everything.
Yeah.
So take our word as scripture.
Yeah. St. Matthew and St. Peter over here.
Yeah. So that's funny.
See? You see what I did there?
I do. So I think a lot of people, they're overrated to a lot of people. I think people are think they're the savior of humanity or whatever. I'm all for electric cars. I think it's a great thing. As much as you can help the planet by lowering emissions, that's great. But on the flip side, what goes into building an electric car's battery and what you need to do that, and how that's basically, propagating slavery in the Congo, and but for what it is, I still think it's overrated. I don't know. Again, I don't have an electric car. I would love one if I could afford one. It'd be great.
Yeah, I think with the right infrastructure in place, it would be perfectly rated.
Yeah.
But they're trying to force production of electric cars over infrastructure first.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get like a San Francisco effect, where their electrical grid, the city basically grew really fast.
Yeah. And
the electrical grid wasn't beefed up to compensate for it.
Right.
And so they have like this kind of jerry-rigged like electrical system that's bad.
Yeah. I think, again, with, it could be perfectly rated for sure, but I think people's faith in them too as being like the answer to whatever is kind of like misplaced a little bit.
That's why the diesel electric hybrid is underrated because
Dude, yeah.
that would be the best system.
No, I think that would be dope. Yeah.
Also, with that, like hemp industry is starting to become a big thing now, right?
Yeah.
And the Professor Diesel or whatever his first name was, the guy who invented the diesel engine, originally designed it to run off of 100% pure hemp oil.
Yeah, I mean, Ford ran.
He made body panels with it.
Yeah. There's like a video of him, like
Smacking it.
Yeah, and it's like doesn't even. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, dude. All right, what's next? What's the next topic?
I got another one for you.
All right.
The movie Frozen. Overrated, perfectly rated, or underrated?
Super overrated. I've seen it a lot of times, and I don't hate it. Like, the girls love it. They're all about Anna and Elsa. But
Isn't it crazy that movie's like over 10 years old now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's not that great of a movie. Yeah, I mean, for what it is it's cool, but it's kind of overrated. Elsa's annoying, and if she was my kid, she'd be grounded for a long time. It's a good thing her parents are dead, because it's. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. I'll watch it with the girls. I think I like the second one better, honestly.
I think the second one is better.
Yeah. Yeah, the second one's pretty good.
What are some other reasons why the first one is doesn't meet up to the hype?
Well, definitely Elsa. She's annoying. Let me think. I don't like the music. I know everyone loves the Let It Go song and the whatever other song is in there. I think the music's better on the second one too. The songs are better.
Lost in the Woods is the best Frozen song.
Lost in the Woods is really good.
That one and the intro song to the first one are the best songs out of all of them.
It's crazy because and with Frozen 2, it was actually have you heard of the name is blanking on me, but did you hear about
Blanky Time? Blanking on Blanky Time?
Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
a classic.
So there's this the Diablo mountain in Russia, right, where everyone went missing however many years ago, right? And they thought that Sasquatch got them or whatever. It's been unsolved for the last 50 years or whatever. They figured it out recently. You know why? Frozen 2 and how they portrayed snowfall. So one of the guys who had been researching this, trying to figure out, he watched Frozen 2 with his kid, noticed how the snow was falling in the movie, called Disney to ask about why did you I don't know exactly, but it was something about the way the snow was falling. Calls them. They referred to him to where they got their source from.
Their snow specialist.
Literally solved it. Solved the mystery after 50 years or whatever.
What?
That these guys were killed in an avalanche, obviously, and on the the Devil's Mountain. But Frozen 2, yeah. Look it up. It's crazy. Yeah.
I think I like the Sasquatch idea better, but
I do too. It's much yeah.
It's pretty.
It
is
fun.
Pretty interesting.
But yeah, but I think with Frozen 1, it's just the music wasn't that good. Elsa's character is annoying. And I think you have a better cast in the second one too. You got Sterling K. Brown is on there. He does great.
So what Disney princess movie do you feel should be in place of Frozen that actually lives up to the hype that Frozen got?
That's a great question, and I've seen pretty much all of them. So, Moana, dude. Moana is fantastic.
What? I
Moana's
was not
fantastic.
thinking you were gonna say
Look,
that.
I love Moana. I've seen it.
I am Moana.
I've seen it so many times. so many times. And it never gets old. It's very good. That or I love Aladdin. Aladdin's my all-time favorite Disney movie.
That's not really a Disney
It's not really a
princess
princess movie though. You
Yeah.
have Jasmine, but it's more about Aladdin.
Yeah.
But I think Moana is fantastic, and it holds up to the hype. If anything, maybe it's underrated.
I mean,
You know?
it's pretty solid. There is a theory about how Moana's actually dead for the majority of the movie, and
Really? I
that she
haven't heard
doesn't
that.
come back to life till later, because there's like a certain part, like when she first goes out, in the ocean.
And she gets like smacked.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
people say like she actually dies in that moment, and then she sees like all these spiritual beings and like the lights and crud and whatnot, and then towards the end when she finally travels through the spirit realm and stuff and finds the stone and sets everything back, she doesn't see any of those things
That's
after
interesting.
that point.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, Moana would not be. What I would
Mulan though. Mulan is up there too. Dude.
Mulan
I
is
love
good.
Mulan. The first one.
As far as something that is closely related in style and premise to a certain extent, I think Tangled
Yeah,
is
Tangled's
what
really good.
I think Tangled is what should be in place of Frozen when it comes to like the hype and what was said about it. Like
Yeah.
musically, voice acting,
Yeah.
just style and like the cinematography and stuff in it is far better than Frozen.
I think Tangled is much better than Frozen. Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't see Tangled until recently, like the last couple years. I kind of missed it when it came out.
Yeah, it got like skipped over.
But the girls really are into it, and it's a much better movie than Frozen. Even like the little like small like mini episode type sequels they put out of Tangled, they're all good. But yeah, no, Tangled's a good movie. I still, for what it is, I think Moana's great.
So do you think Moana's perfectly rated, or is it underrated? I think it's perfectly.
I think
rated.
it's perfectly rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say perfectly. It's really good. It took them like 5 years to put together. Like.
But they're already trying to do a freaking live action.
I know. I think it's a little soon for that.
I think The Rock's pushing for it though.
Well, he pushed for Black Adam, and let's look how that turned out. So.
Yeah, he ended up having to join Fast and Furious again.
I know, what a dude.
He's a suck up.
I love Fast and Furious. I love those movies, but dude, they're great. Don't even hate on it. I love them.
Did you see Fast X?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Really?
I love this. I love the series though. I think it's great.
I am interested. I'm pretty sure they're making one where it's just surrounding the story surrounding the Japanese guy.
Han.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be actually about cars again.
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his character. He was the best part about Tokyo Drift. The rest of the movie was pretty lame. Fast 5 though, I mean, probably the best of the series. Obviously, I think everyone would agree. And it's definitely gotten a lot cheesier. But the question is, are they self-aware?
No, they're not.
Does he know?
No, they're not. They're not
I don't think he
self-aware
does.
because the Latina chick that was in Lost that got
Lady.
capped.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? She was like, it was like paparazzi. They were like asking her questions and stuff, and someone asked her like if she would ever consider joining the Marvel universe because there's like fan casting, and they were like casting her as something, and she was like, nah, all that's like made up comic book stuff, like join the real world, blah blah blah. And then it's like Vin Diesel on fire crashing through pylons,
basically.
and she's heavily tied to that franchise.
Yeah, I mean, she almost left though, like a few years back when like she wanted women to be more of a central role, like in the series, rather than just like having them half naked and stuff.
Yeah, is that when that switch happened?
Yeah,
because early 2000s they liked scantily clad.
Oh yeah, and then it just shifts, kind of,
body women,
Yeah.
in the sunset. Yeah,
which I mean, she's into women, so that's
she
just
is?
interesting. Yeah, she's gay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
she's married
gay.
to a girl, I think.
That's gay.
That is gay.
It's very gay.
but yeah, well, good for her. I mean, whatever. That's but
still seems kind of gay to me.
yeah, I do. I like the Fast and Furious. I still think. I mean, I think people know exactly what they're getting with that, so it's probably perfectly rated. Because
All right, well,
I'm not
I'll let-
denying that it is lame.
I'll
I
let you
enjoy them.
I'll let you say that, and then once you watch Fast X, we'll talk about it again.
All right.
Because
Alright.
Fast X is my only frame of reference. That's the
You haven't
only-
seen any of them?
That's the only one I've seen.
Dude, you don't know anything that's going. You're like dropping in.
Yeah.
You gotta watch them from the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta have a marathon.
Oh man. Well, how about we do Pacific Rim?
And then
To me,
yeah.
is underrated.
Yeah, I haven't
Because
seen it.
some people will say, I don't know. I think it's either perfectly rated or a little underrated, because you just have to enjoy it for what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just like an amusement park ride. It's just to be dumb and watch monsters get messed up by
Right.
robots. You don't
Futuristic,
have
yeah.
like there's just some movies that's the whole thing, right?
Right.
And I think it's slightly underrated because people focus too much on, like, I think the story's not that bad, right? For especially the kind of movie it is. Like, I would say the Godzilla, the most recent one, like King of Monsters or whatever,
Mhm.
like that one, they were trying to focus too much on the story, and so you lost just like big monsters fighting each other. You know?
Right. Now, the
So-
best Godzilla movie, I think, was the one that came out that was kind of off, where like Godzilla didn't look like Godzilla. It was like early 2000s.
Oh, like the
Matthew,
really
so
lizardy
Matthew
one.
Broderick was in it. Yeah.
But there's like a bunch of them. There's like one point it's like in an arena or something. And
Oh,
there's,
right,
like,
because
all the eggs.
the eggs had. Yeah, that was a good movie, but I grew up with that, so
Yeah.
it's like
That's the same time when the like first new Hulk movie came out.
Oh, it was
Which is-
terrible. Such a terrible movie.
No, it's the best one out of
The
all
one with the
Hulk
dogs.
movies. Yes.
I watched it a million times, but it
That
was
one is
terrible.
better than any of the other Hulk movies. It's the best version.
It
of
is.
the Hulk.
It's better than the other movies for sure, but
Yeah.
it was still not good. As far as that was early Marvel pre-cinematic universe. Like
Yeah, it's the best one.
I didn't like Eric Bana as
Really?
as
As Bruce Banner?
no, I didn't think he did.
Who do you like, Bruce? Who do you like?
I
as
think
Bruce
Mark
Banner?
Ruffalo does a good job.
What?
Yeah, I think he's great.
He's not wimpy enough.
No, I mean I did not like Ed Norton. He
No.
wasn't that believable.
Nah, he was too yoga-y, you know.
He was.
He's
yeah,
like, why is
very
Bruce
yogi-y.
Banner like doing breathing exercises and getting slapped by a monk?
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
this is a bit
yeah.
ridiculous.
I don't know.
And then the fact that like the best part of that movie though is he works in like a Doritos plant,
Right.
and so he cuts himself, and a drop of blood like gets into one of the sodas,
Yeah.
and the cameo for oh god, I'm a terrible person. You know who
I'm trying.
Stanley.
To, yeah.
The cameo for Stanley. He's sitting on a couch watching football, and he cracks open the Dorito and takes a sip and goes, "Wow!" And then like just dies.
Yeah.
It was
Oh man,
it was
Stanley
one of the best.
cameos, dude.
one of the best Stanley cameos.
Yeah. No, that movie was pretty terrible, but I love it though. I watched it a lot. We had all the action figures, the Hulk dogs, and yeah.
All right, here's
Oh,
one
no.
for you.
All right.
Okay, Italian American food. Right?
Okay.
Perfectly rated, underrated, overrated. Okay?
Italian American food.
Yes, not like not legit Italian. Italian American. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes, I do. And I would say it's overrated. I've had legit Italian in
Yeah.
Zambia. This
What?
guy moved there
Okay.
and fell in love with a Zambian woman. They got married, and he opened this little Italian joint.
That's epic.
Yeah, outside of Lusaka, and Very good food. Best Italian food I've ever had. But
In Zambia.
yeah, in Zambia.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's hard to find something that even tastes remotely authentic here.
Or different.
Right.
That's the thing about
Everything
American
tastes
Italian.
the same. Yeah.
It's like, oh boy, what combination of different shaped noodle, tomato sauce, and cheese is this going to be? And it's
Right.
like,
And it all
most of the
tastes
time
the
it's
same.
about the same. It's just
Yeah.
up to texture at that point versus it being like its own dish.
Right. I had a really good vodka penne in Guatemala. That was delicious. And it tasted very unique. Like I haven't been able to get anything like that here. But again, it was kind of like another little Italian spot.
When I went to Chiapas, that was like the nice place we ate at.
Yeah.
This like Italian place.
Yeah.
And we all thought they were gonna take us to some like, authentic joint,
Right.
and they're like, no, we got to take you to the fine dining, which was like kind of just like a Panera Bread or not Olive Garden,
Yeah,
Ragazzi's
right,
type
right.
place. It was like had good garlic bread and
Yeah.
pasta, but
That's
it was
weird.
just like
No.
y'all taking us to it was interesting. It was definitely an experience.
What's the same as like Mexican food here, Like it's really like you're not going to get authentic Mexican food at like La Casina or Fiesta Mexicana
Yeah,
or
it's
one of these
American
chains.
Mexican.
Like yeah, it's American Mexican.
Today's episode is brought to you by me, Stone Kiker, in the metaphysical form of Oaknut Workshop.
Ooh.
What is Oaknut Workshop, you may ask? Well, Oaknut Workshop is a workshop like Santa's workshop. It's magical. There's all sorts of things being created inside of it. And what are those things? Well, that's up to your imagination.
Ooh.
If it has to do with leather, metal, or woodworking, chances are I, myself, Stone, Oaknut Workshop, Kiker, can come up with a custom thing for you that'll suit your needs, and I think it'll turn out really cool. So if you want to check me out, or if you're just interested in any of that stuff, you can go to oaknutworkshop.com or check me out on social medias at Oaknut Workshop.
It's good. Today's episode is also brought to you by Grateful Coffee. If you like coffee,
Yeah, I like coffee a lot.
well, we've got the coffee.
Ooh.
Grateful Coffee is a micro roaster. We roast in small batches. We deliver directly to consumers within days. So you always get the freshest, best tasting coffee. We also partner with nonprofits in Guatemala who are devoted to community building, feeding programs, education initiatives, all that good stuff, because we believe your coffee can change the world.
Wow.
If you want to find out more, you can do so on our socials at grateful.coffee or on our website, grateful.coffee.
Go get you some dirty beans.
Dirty beans.
So Matt, what did we learn today?
Ooh, well, I think we learned that
We normally don't talk about the topic as much as we say we're going to.
right, we definitely learned that. I think a good rule of thumb is to not think more of yourself than you should. Don't be overrated.
Don't overrate yourself.
Don't overrate yourself, but also don't think less of yourself than you should. Instead, think perfectly about yourself. Right in the middle.
That's a good one.
Yeah, not too little, not too much. You are human just like we're all humans in this big place we call the world, in this big place we call the universe.
Yeah, and though you may be tempted to chuck a boiling hot honey bun at another human, possibly one that's right next to a stoplight,
Dude,
they're
just gave
human
me an
too.
idea. They are human too. But we should definitely do that.
What, chuck honey bun?
Yeah.
Boiling hot honey buns.
We should
At them.
do the podcast while we are chucking boiling hot honey buns at each other.
What if instead of microwaving honey buns, we just skipped the honey bun step and just chucked a microwave at them?
That would hurt a lot more, I feel like.
Then a boiling hot honey
Boiling
bun.
hot. You know, side note, when I was in youth ministry, we read the announcements one week while the guy that was reading the announcements I was shooting with a paintball gun every announcement.
Oh, that's nice.
And he was standing there shirtless,
And
just taking it. Yeah, this is what we did during youth group. It's probably why I'm not in ministry anymore, among other reasons. But, yeah, crazy. Anyway.
That guy probably needed some Blanky time when he got home.
He does. Thankfully, we still talk, so it's all good.
We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore.
Yeah, we do still talk though. So
we don't talk anymore like we used to. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know that one?
I'm ready for your album to come out, man.
A cover album? Do people do cover albums?
Apparently.
That just seems kind of lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame. You know what else is lame?
Not having Blanky time?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. That's great. That's great. Yeah, man.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
It was fun.
All 13 of you.
We'll be back next week with a fresh episode of Blanky Time.
Indeed.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And
share it to people.
Share it to people. And
spread the word of the good Blink. The good Blanky.
That's right. Yeah. And we've got something big planned.
Oh,
so just stay tuned.
Yeah, we do. Forgot about that actually.
Yeah, it's coming up quick too.
So you better stay tuned.
So don't miss an episode.
You're gonna miss it.
Don't miss an episode.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye, Matt.
Bye. Blanky out.
Good night.